Well, that leads us to our next topic, which is going through some of these first-year head coaches, these new NFL coaches, and the over-unders are out, the projected win totals for some of these teams. We have ours through CG Technology. And let's start with the Browns.
Yeah.
Because they make the jump here, right?
Right.
And this is a team that last year, I believe, was predicted to, their over-under was 6.
Yeah.
They went over it.
Right.
And now, obviously, they add Beckham. But Freddie Kitchens is the head coach.
Yeah.
And they are up there at 9 wins. And that's a big jump.
Big jump.
It's a team that's basically projected to win the division now.
Pretty much.
And the pressure on Kitchens is going to be immense.
It is.
At this point, because this is a team that's going to be on in prime time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a team that now teams are gunning for them.
Right.
They're not sneaking up on anyone. Baker Mayfield's not a guy who's not sneaking up on anyone because he's going to be talking. He's going to be brash.
Sure.
And they're going to have to deliver. Do you buy that this is a coach that can deliver in a pressure situation?
I do. Just because I know him a little bit, I don't think the pressure is going to get to him, really. I think he is like Freddie Kitchens is a real traditional ball coach. He just wants to be locked in a room. He wants to do game plans. He wants to talk to his quarterback and figure out what makes them comfortable and go from there. The pressure is what you said. I mean, if I look at the negative with the Browns, the biggest negative is, they got to prove it. On paper, they're the paper champs. But on the field, it's all talk at this point. And they are a young team. And, learning how to win football games. And Baker Mayfield, the second-year guy, learning how to win football games and manage situations are all things that are learned in the NFL. It's easy to win games in high school and college football, especially when you're on a team like Oklahoma where you can mess up 3 times a game in the Big 12 and just go, well, we're just better. We're Oklahoma, and we'll still come back and win this game.
Your backups are going to be better than
exactly right.
You get 5-star recruits that are coming off the bench.
Right. I mean, the difference in a good team and a bad team is so finite now, this day and age in the NFL. So, yes, it's going to be the blending of the personalities, but the talent is there. And the thing I like about Freddie Kitchens, just to end the conversation with the Browns, too, a guy like Steve Wilks as the defensive coordinator. A little bit, again, like a McVay-Wade Phillips combination to where Freddie Kitchens, during games, if he wants to go over and sit on the bench and talk to Baker Mayfield and have a conversation and, hey, I'm seeing this on 3rd downs and, maybe we should try this play, he's not going to have to worry about, is my defense falling apart? He's going to have a guy that's been a head coach or at least been around for a long time as a defensive coordinator that he can trust, that can run that side of the football team when he's over there maybe tinkering with ideas.
All right, so you don't have to micromanage. They don't have to deal potentially with the coaching drama that they dealt with last year. And let's face it,
that was
an
issue.
There was a world of it.
Yes.
And they were still a successful football team by all measures, really.
I mean, you think they're going to do it? You think they're going to get a 9?
I like them at 9. I don't know that I like it over. I like them to hit the number.
Yeah, right.
But I don't.
The division's good.
That's the problem.
It is, yes.
Okay. But, man, they're a talented team. They're going to be fun to watch. And we can't forget how good they were at times last year on defense.
Yes, I know.
Right? So if the offense improves, 9 seems about right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Packers.
Yeah.
Okay. Now another one of these friends of Sean, we'll call them, right? Matt LaFleur, 9 wins. This is a guy who had 1 year with the Titans offense.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
Kind of underwhelming Titans offense.
Exactly.
And they found out that they had a big running back. Let's run the football, which is a little bit different look than they're going to have in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And the big question I have here is, all right, so you have LeBron James out there, basically best player in the world, decides, for all intents and purposes, he doesn't need to be coached, doesn't want to be coached. You have Aaron Rodgers, who has said, I want to be coached.
Yes, right.
But I'm not sure that everyone really believes that
he
wants to be coached because he's been there, he's done that. He is, 4 years younger than his head coach?
Yep.
He's going to have strong opinions about the offense.
Yes, he is.
Is this a head coach that can push back against Aaron Rodgers and that can convince him that his strong opinion is the right one if it's not, let's face it, directly coinciding with Aaron Rodgers?
No, hey, listen, that's going to be the big thing. I mean, I think when we look at the positives, okay, let's just start there with the Green Bay Packers in the offseason so far. Made some great moves on the defensive side of the ball. And I do like that they got new, fresh ideas on the offensive side of the ball as far as Matt LaFleur with Nate Hackett. Now, what you're saying is totally real. Is it really going to work at the end of the day? This is what I would argue. And again, with Aaron Rodgers, I do believe he wants to be coached. The things I've heard in Green Bay that were troubling to Rodgers and some of the people on the offensive side of the ball was the fact that during the week, Mike McCarthy wasn't involved in many of the offensive team meetings, and then Sunday he wanted to call the plays. And as an ex-quarterback, that would not feel very good for me if I was on the field going, I haven't even had dialogue with this guy all week about what plays I like, or when the defense runs this, we were going to run these type of plays on the offensive side of the ball, to where that's where I would go, that's not cool. And I think that's where some of the things we saw last year from Rodgers rolling his eyes about a play call, or we heard conversations that he would change play calls. Well, yeah, I think he was frustrated by that aspect. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
Okay, but they're at 9 wins.
Yeah.
And you think he wants to be coach. You think if there's someone involved, day-to-day basis that you really can communicate with, that it could work.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers doesn't even realize what he doesn't know yet. He doesn't even know what he doesn't know. Does that make sense? That makes sense in its own weird way?
Yes.
He doesn't know what he doesn't even know, because he's going to question things about this offense, or, oh, we used to do it this way, and they're going to sit there and they'll go, well, yeah, Aaron, but you had 10 plays in your last offense, so we have to expand. That's why you guys had troubles. I mean, it's 10 pass plays. So guys like LaFleur and Hackett are going to have to sell him. They will have plays on video when they sit in the quarterback room and go, hey, we love this play. And they're going to give him 10 examples of whether LaFleur, McVay, or Shanahan ran it, who LaFleur worked under both of those guys, to go, look, during this coverage, we like this play, so this is why we want to add it and do that. They're going to have to sell. And that's part of being a coach, is being a salesman to your players and your quarterback, to go, no, I believe these plays are going to work. Let me show you why, and now you can believe in them too. And I think that's where it's going to really have to be the jump-off point.
We saw him throw the football away a lot more last year than we saw throughout his career.
Right.
Do you see that in this new offense? Do you see him maybe being a bit more aggressive?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more aggressive. I think they'll run the ball a little bit better under LaFleur and Nate Hackett. I mean, Nate Hackett and LaFleur both believe in running the ball, so I think you're going to see that. Of course, coming from Kyle Shanahan and McVay, they like to run the ball, so I think you're going to see more play action. I think you're going to see more aggressive downfield passing. The biggest thing I want to say for the Green Bay Packers is, weapons-wise, this would be my big question, and whether they can get the 9 wins. Who's there really to be scared of?
Yeah.
It's Davante Adams, who's really good, but I'm not going to say he's one of the 5 best receivers in football or anything like that. So, again, it goes back to, is there too much pressure on Rodgers for his physical ability to have to make too many plays to carry the offense? That's what I get scared about. You know, again, Tom Brady the last 2 years, when all in doubt, he just went, damn, there's Rob Gronkowski.
Sure.
I'm just going to throw him the ball, and he might be covered, but he'll make a catch and maybe break a tackle, and all of a sudden we got a 30-yard gain. Who the hell is that guy for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
And I think that's what scares me about Green Bay. 9 is like, I almost want to pick the push there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the division's better.
Exactly right.
You know, Chicago's going to be good. Detroit's definitely better.
Yes.
So it's going to be. Minnesota's right there.
Exactly
again.
right.
So it's going to be a difficult division. It's going to be tough to get wins within the division. The defense is better. Mm-hmm. They've improved there. But You're right. They didn't wow Aaron Rodgers. They didn't blow him away with the idea that, hey, we got new toys for you.
No doubt.
We have some new weapons for you. You're just going to go out there and say, let's spread the field, let's look around, and I'm just going to pick this team apart. No, there's one guy, and I agree, I like Adams a lot, but he is not top tier.
No. He's not in the class of the Beckhams, A.J. Greens, Julio Jones, Antonio Browns. He's not the guy. Nobody's doubling Davante Adams going, oh, man, if we don't take him away, then
Which,
we're
again,
screwed.
is why some of his numbers are so good.
Exactly
because they're not treating him that way.
No, they're not treating him that way. And if Rodgers sees one-on-one and he's a little bit covered, he's an unbelievable back shoulder thrower regardless. But, yeah, Green Bay is fascinating. And they got 2 first-round picks. So that's the one thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they get some young offensive weapons that way, but we'll see, and we're not going to know that for a few weeks.
All right, so let's go to the Broncos now because it's a little different approach, obviously, the head coaching situation there. They go Vic Fangio. They go a defensive coach. They go an older coach. This is a team that's not a ton is expected, but it's a team that's in, let's face it, there's a lot of pressure on John Elway.
Yep.
They go and they get Joe Flacco at quarterback in a move that a lot of people were left scratching their heads.
Right.
It's questions about ownership. It's really a franchise right now that is in a bit of turmoil, and it could be in a lot of transition, but they have a new head coach. They get 7 wins. You look at the Broncos. Biggest question is what for you with this Denver team?
It's a tough division. I think the biggest question will be the quarterback situation, though. I mean, I hate to be like Captain Obvious, but I think it really is. I mean,
Well, is the question then that they bring in a quarterback and it's just going to be no better than it was last year with
I guess so.
team?
I guess that's the question, is how much of an upgrade is it going to be? What's the new offense going to be under Rich Scangarello, who comes from, again, Kyle Shanahan and that group where, hey, I figure they're going to run the football and play actions and boots are all going to be a part of the game plan. The number one thing I love about what the Broncos did in the offseason, hands down, the first thing I talk about is the coaching changes. I love the Vic Fangio's, the head coach of that football team. First of all, they have a lot of talent on that defense and talent that fits his scheme, which is a little bit more 3-4 based. So I think that could be really special. They get Mike Munchak as an offensive line coach. Offensive line play has been an issue there. I would say other than Rich Scarnecchia in New England, this is the second best offensive line coach in all of football, and I do like Scangarello at the offensive side of the ball, but it's going to be about their offense and about them being able to create big plays, and Joe Flacco, what form does he regain?
Well, do you think what they want out of this right now is they have some playmakers on defense, they have a defensive head coach, they want to win some ugly football games, they want to win close football games, and maybe do they think that Joe Flacco is the guy right now where you bring in a veteran and he knows how to win some tight games? You don't worry about stats, don't worry about putting up numbers, and let's grind some out.
I mean, who could speak to that better than Joe Flacco? He's been doing that his whole career, having to play on a Baltimore Ravens team that, we want to play defense and we want to run the ball.
Great.
And then when we get in 3rd and 12 or 15, Joe, we just need you to make a big throw, and he's kind of just go, okay, I'll just throw it. Shoo. Okay, I got it. Yep.
That's a tremendous Joe. I feel like I'm in the room with him right now. It's amazing.
But that's how Joe is. He's like unflappable that way. But I think to what you're saying, though, that's probably some of the beauty of why they made these decisions. So it's not about, we have to outscore people. They're going to try to run the football. Joe has got guys like, hey, Emmanuel Sanders, who's not going to be 100% to start the season after tearing his Achilles tendon. They have Deshaun Hamilton, who's coming on as a young receiver out of Penn State. And they got Cortland Sutton, who was a second-round pick out of SMU last year. Guys who are, other than Emmanuel Sanders, are not going to always be open, but
Sanders tore that Achilles in December.
I know. So
right? And his game's predicated on speed.
Exactly right. So Flacco's going to have to make throws under duress. Their big thing on offense is they have Phillip Lindsay. And if they can get holes for him with Mike Munchak coaching things, they certainly could be special that way. And then play through their defense and win games 20-17. That's the type of style I think we're going to see from the Denver Broncos.
All right, let's move on to the New York Jets.
Oh,
you have Adam Gase, 7 wins. For this Jets team that has Sam Darnold, has Le'Veon Bell, should improve on offense, but it has a head coach that, listen, the offensive guru and the offensive mastermind, that was basically his reputation as he was going into Miami. It didn't work out in Miami, and there's only so long you can really hang your hat on the fact that Peyton Manning really liked you, okay, and that it really gelled with Peyton Manning. This is a pressure year for him. Even if the Jets aren't a playoff team, even if they are a 7-win team, is this going to be an exciting offense, or is this going to be a let's give the ball to Bell and see what happens?
No, I think exciting. Okay, listen, I don't think this is going to be like, the top 3 or 4 offenses in football, but I think it's going to be in the top 10. I think it could be in that category. I mean, again.
Wow. I mean, that's
I know.
bad.
I think it'll be right around that area, 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere dancing, flirting right with that top 10. But, yeah, I look at Gase. Okay, first of all, I am a fan of Adam Gase. He's into balanced football. He wants to run the ball. He now doesn't want to just throw it 50 times a game. Okay, the Jets have sneaky weapons at receiver.
I agree. They don't really they don't have a number 1.
No, they don't have a number 1, but they got a lot of number 2s and 3s. And a really good group of tight ends, too, that go along with it. Added to a Le'Veon Bell, I think that might be the beauty of the Jets, where you just go, damn, I don't really know who they're featuring. It could be a feature this guy on a weekly basis type of thing, a game plan type of thing, which for defensive coordinators can be more of a pain in the ass sometimes than when you actually have a Julio Jones, where they go, okay, we know they're just going to go to this guy. The Jets, you go, man, Robbie Anderson, we kind of got to watch out for him. Quincy Enunwa, oh, gosh, we got to watch out for him. Okay. Oh, gosh, damn, Jamison Crowder, kind of got to watch out for him. Damn, Le'Veon Bell running the ball and lining up as a slot receiver. Damn, we got to worry about him. And then I talked about some of the tight ends that are impressive with it. I think that's the beauty of what they do. Gase is a good offensive mind. He really is, and he's done great with quarterbacks. I think it's going to be awesome for Sam Darnold.
They're the second best team in the division? Should be?
It's going to be them or Buffalo. I think it'll be really close
right
because I like what Buffalo's doing too.
Okay.
I do. The Jets on defense have some things to like as well. They need a pass rusher. They need a guy who can close out games or strip sack fumble to change the dynamic of a game. They don't have that. Maybe that's what they get at the number 3 draft pick because they're certainly sitting prime for that type of player there. But either way, 7 wins for the Jets. I mean, that's pretty spot on to where I guess I would probably put them.
Okay.
What would you do?
No, I think that's accurate. I mean, I think if you want to go over, you got to look at your division, right? And if you're Gase, you got to look at Miami and say we got to have both of those.
Yeah, that's right.
Have to have both of those,
right.
which is no.
No,
you're in division.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Just ask New
and
England.
Flores knows how
just
to
ask New England about taking 2
sure.
from Miami,
right?
Right. And you're probably looking at. I mean, you got to at least split with Buffalo. And you'd like to win both, and I don't know that happens. And you could lose both, and you're going to lose both in New England.
No doubt.
So you gotta take 2 from Miami. I don't know. I think 7's about right. I could see them going over if this offense really clicks, and if Bell is
this is why
the
I don't
elite
bet.
version of Bell. This is a guy we haven't seen play football in a long time.
I know.
So. But you're right. I'd like to see a defense that can cause some havoc, and I'm not sure that they are at that point.
No, they're not at that point. They don't have that one guy. But
No.
the one thing is they have Greg Williams, who's creative. He loves the blitz, so he'll try to formulate pressure just through his game plan design instead of maybe relying on one guy all the time.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to Cincinnati,
Bengals,
and you have Zach Taylor. 6 wins right now. Okay,
Right.
so you make a move. Cincinnati, you finally change coaches, and I don't know, it's somewhat underwhelming hire.
Extremely.
I mean,
Again, a guy with
just-
DNA that I would have said I could see him being a head coach in the future. Did I think the future was now? No freaking way. I absolutely not. I mean, again, just because he was in the room with McVay and Jared Goff doesn't mean he knows everything as far as game planning, what weaknesses a defensive scheme has, how do I expose it, how do I call those plays and formulate the plan on a weekly basis. All those things I gotta see it to believe it. Yeah, big questions here with this hire. Like Zach Taylor, the guy, I even played with him in Tampa Bay one of my last years there when we came as a free agent.
Did you
out
think
of
he'd be a head
Nebraska.
coach?
I did. He always had that way about him. I certainly did.
Okay.
I just did not think that the timing was right now. That's what I would argue with him and Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
I feel like it's 2-3 years too early before we got to that. I hope they can make the success of it, but that's the $1 million question.
There's pressure on all these guys. I would say, though, I don't think there's a ton of pressure on him year one.
Nobody's expecting a lot.
No, and again, we talked about the division.
Yes.
Which is going to be
Division's
tough.
real.
Yes, and I think people know that. The pressure is going to start mounting, obviously, if they start off poorly and they keep losing games, but I don't think it's immense right from the start. Let's move on to the Bucs, and let's move on to a very different situation, all right?
Yeah.
You have Bruce Arians in there, okay? It's going to be nothing if not entertaining. Post-game press conferences might be one of the best things to watch about this team, considering that the projection is 6 wins for a Bruce Arians-led team who, you may want to build something here, but Bruce Arians, you don't hire him for a long-term build right now. You want to get a foundation, but you want to start winning some football games. 6 wins.
6 wins.
Okay.
This would be my team. If you made me go, here's the.
This is the one you would choose?
This would be my one to go. I would bet on this one.
Okay.
The other ones, I feel like were kind of perfect.
Yeah,
there.
I think I would take this if I was going to go over,
right.
and I would probably go Cincinnati under.
You would go Cincinnati under.
I would.
Yeah, I can understand your thinking there, certainly. I look at the Bucs and their situation, and I said this before Bruce Arians was hired. I thought the Bucs was kind of the under-the-radar, one of the best teams out there for a head coach and some of the possibilities out there. O-line, not bad. Running back, Peyton Barber, is better than maybe what the public or the national media realizes. Okay. Hey, you got a quarterback who's certainly been a knucklehead, but has upside that I think we've all seen and gone, wow, there's moments we see that are special with this
kid. A number of last chances. This is it, though. This is the final last chance. That's it. No more other chances.
If he can't make it happen, as far as Bruce Arians with Jameis Winston right here, and Bruce has made every quarterback better, then yes, Jameis is in deep crap.
Yeah.
But the big question is, okay, the division's real. I mean, you could argue it's the best division of football with the Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. I don't think any of them are falling off a cliff, okay? But now when I think about the Bruce Arians combination with Jameis and it's in its highest point, I go, wow, this could be special. I mean, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, they got some receivers and people to play with. Arians, of course, is always creative. The defensive side of the ball, it's JPP. It's Vita Vea, who they drafted in the top 10 last year, who didn't get to contribute a whole lot. Their damn defensive tackle. I keep blanking on this guy's name. What the hell's his name? Gerald McCoy.
Are you talking about McCoy?
Thank you. Yes,
we talked so much about Oklahoma
Only
before.
I don't know
why that.
Gerald McCoy, though, you look at that. I mean, they have some young players in the secondary. The Bucs are the team I look at to go, ooh, they could top the 6 wins.
I also think he gets a massive benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Which is if this team doesn't get off to a good start, or if this team's losing games, I don't think anyone's necessarily blaming him at all. Arians.
I
think they're looking at the players.
The players that are in place
100%.
Right.
And I think the difference is also, if you're a player on that team, you can't sit. You're not going to get away with blaming the coach or someone else.
No.
Not at the beginning, because this is a team that's I don't think
question marks.
Yeah, and that people definitely at this point do not believe in the quarterback.
Yeah.
They need to see something from him. I don't know that can be salvaged, but we're going to find out.
Yeah.
And Bruce Arians is going to be there just to let us know whether it can be or cannot be. Let's stay in Florida. Let's go to the Dolphins. Brian Flores, this is a team, projection 5 wins.
Yeah.
Okay. This is interesting, right? Because you're bringing Brian Flores, you bring him in from the New England Patriots, and you want to change the culture. All right, and you go completely different than Adam Gase, obviously, which that's another big thing in the NFL. If one thing doesn't work, let's find the opposite, essentially. Yeah. But you bring Brian Flores, defensive-minded coach. If you want to bring in a winning culture to a team whose goal is not necessarily to win football games during this first season, how do you do both at the same time? How do you inspire a winning culture when your owner and basically people in the front office have made it clear, one way or the other, that maybe we shouldn't win that many games this year. Maybe we would be better off not winning, getting a good draft pick, getting a quarterback, and building.
Yeah, no, I've said this on Pro Football Talk too with Mike. They're not tanking. Okay, they're just building for the future.
Yeah, they're not trying to lose
games, but certainly yes, they're not going to go out and overspend or do something stupid right now that's going to mess up their overall future plan for success for the next 4 to 5 years. It is very hard what you're saying. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, hey, Brian Flores, what he's going to really have to do, and a lot of the guys on the team are going to know that, and I think that's why he makes statements like this past weekend where he says Ryan Fitzpatrick's best years are ahead of him. I don't know if I agree with that, but he's still trying to say there's good football left in him, so he's trying to give his team hope that way. Really, though, what he's going to do, a lot of the groundwork for what he's trying to instill with the culture is going to start this week. It's going to be about being tough on the players, about getting better in the building on a daily basis. He's going to show and install things that were done in New England to make players better, whether it's drills or things at practice that they did as a team, whatever it may be. That's going to be a part of the winning culture. Now, yes, the players that have been around the block before, they're going to realize, damn, maybe we're not putting the best product out there this year, but they're going to also realize that Brian Flores is not going to accept anything but tough, detailed, work hard, work at your craft, get better at that from all of his football players. And again, what people miss in those type of conversations every now and then, this is not baseball or basketball. You know, everybody's basically on a 1-year contract. So everybody on that team's going to go, you know what, I'm going to buy in because, 1, I'm living in South Florida and I'd like to stay here and keep my family here. 2, I got to go out on film and show everybody what I got anyway, so I'm going to put my best foot forward because I might have to impress another team or a GM in the future. And that's where it's different from the other sports. So it's never tanking in the NFL. It's kind of just reshaping or retooling for the future.
Well, and it definitely gives the coach a lot more power than the coaches have in those leagues.
Yes, it does.
Which, let's face
question.
it, the coaches are becoming almost powerless in a lot of them.
Yeah, they are.
Especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
All right, so final one here. We get to the Cardinals. We get to Cliff Kingsbury. USC coaching legend Cliff Kingsbury, 5 wins. Now, it's a huge wild card.
Yeah.
Because you have the top overall pick.
Right.
And you don't know who's playing
quarterback.
We don't even
know yet. We don't know yet. Right.
They
exactly
may not have the guy who's playing quarterback for them. But this is a team that was dreadful to watch for most of last year.
Yes.
And now has brought in a coach that, as you mentioned, was not getting a head coaching job at a major Division I college.
Right.
Okay? Was a USC coordinator for the blink of an eye, and now is an NFL head coach and was a coveted NFL coach all of a sudden. I don't think there's a lot of pressure to win right away because I think it'll be, if they draft a quarterback, it'll be, let's build this quarterback up, let's build this franchise. 5 wins? 5 wins seems...
Yeah, 5 wins probably seems spot on. I mean, if you made me, I would have gone 4 or 6.
If 4 through 6. If they don't take Murray and they decide to rebuild a different way, I could see it going under.
Yeah, sure, right. Exactly right. I mean, what do you hang your hat on with the Cardinals roster right now? What do you sit there and just go, ooh, that area of the team?
That's what we're leaning on.
I really like it, right? There's nothing. There's maybe players where you can go, I like David Johnson. I like Patrick Peterson.
Sure.
I like Chandler Jones coming off the edge as a pass rusher, but I don't think there's one unit on the team that you would even remotely discuss as being elite as far as NFL standards. So, yeah, there's a lot of rebuilding that's going to be done with the Arizona Cardinals.
That's amazing, too, because those are three
big names. I know.
Elite players.
Exactly right. I know. But there's just not enough to go along with it at this point in time. And I think that they will get it right. And I think Cliff Kingsbury has a very good football mind. He's going to be kind of learning on the job, too.
Guy like Kingsbury comes into the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
And people, let's face it, everyone who's playing for him right now knows his history, knows what he's done or hasn't done in the college game. He gets this job. He's a good-looking guy. He's charismatic.
Yeah.
He's wearing the shades.
Right.
Difficult for him to earn respect with NFL players?
No, I don't think it'll be difficult. I think they're going to be looking at him going, is this going to be like college? They're going to want to see that. Is he going to be like toes on the line and like marching out orders like that? That's where NFL players who are like 30 years old, they're going to be like,
is he going to
I've been done with that shit for 8 years now. Thank you very much. So that's where he's going to have to learn, yes, this is no longer kids, right? These are some grown men. You have to have a different way about how you lead, things like that. Certainly going to be the big question. Hey, the big thing I'll throw out here with Cliff Kingsbury, the big question for me is the overall inventory of offense. That's what I'm going to be looking for. To me, that's where the college guys who are the college offensive geniuses have become very normal men at the end of the day, a la Chip Kelly or a la Steve Spurrier, right? Because what happened was after like 4 or 5 weeks in the season, teams went, wait, this is it? This is the whole offense? Okay, wait, we're in week 8, and I'm still seeing the same 10 plays I saw in week 3 or 4. So, to me, it's going to be that continuing drive of expanding your offense, your plays, because that's what you have to do in the NFL. If you have a limited playbook, man, it's going to become predictable, and defensive coordinators are going to study those tendencies and be all over your crap, and that's really what I'm looking for from Cliff Kingsbury.
All right, so we go back through this, and you would go Bucks. 6 wins over. I think that's strong.
Yeah,
I would probably go Cincy under 6.
Yeah, I get you.
It's such a wild card right now because the Cardinals, who knows what's going to happen, but I'd still go under. I really would, because I just think that it's amazing that
Cardinals and Dolphins,
you can say
I almost
those
look at.
3 names that you said before in terms of elite superstar type players and the complete lack of depth on that team
is amazing.
Astounding.
It
really
is astounding.
So,
yes, it is.
So I'd go under with them as well, despite the fact that I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for them. So book it right now. Take that. That's a good, solid bet where I don't know who's playing quarterback, but I'm telling you how many wins and losses.
Well, I know. I mean, and like you said, I think that'll dictate it a little bit. I mean, Kyler Murray at quarterback's probably worth one more win, certainly, and that could maybe make it from 5 to 5.5. Who knows?
Big jump. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.